Good morning and welcome to Praise Review on the 3rd of October after the hour of 9, and this is in 2023 and today is Tuesday. My name is Hilbert Katanda. I'm joined by
Emmanuel Chiwacha.
Well, good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, and yourself?
Yeah, you seem to be very, very fine.
Yeah.
You know, right?
It's morning hours, so yeah, we're supposed to be energetic.
Yeah, of course I'm fine, but walking from area somewhere around area 18 to here at Bishop Navy area 2, I have seen a lot of people. The road is very hectic, so I cannot say I'm fine, that fine, but I'm fine.
I understand what you're saying.
All right, let's begin our today's press review by looking at some of the stories appearing on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper, and of course, the main story says power at Hasso in DPP. That's of course the headline, and partly there is a sub-headline which says APM maintains eligible for re-election, and Nankuma camp dismissive. Partly the story says it says disagreements have ensued in the erstwhile governing Democratic Progressive Party as the party's spokesperson Chadrick Namalomba maintains that its leader Peter Mutharika is eligible to contest in the September 25 presidential election. However, the camp of the DPP Southern Region Vice President Skundwan Nankuma is claiming that the former president is not eligible to contest, citing provisions in the party's constitution. This is happening days after High Court Judge Simeon Mdedza ordered the party to hold a convention within 90 days. Well, I don't know which rules is the Nankuma camp citing, but I feel like this is salvageable at a certain point in time, because I was thinking that the convention will rule it all, and that everyone, each and every candidate, whoever wants to be the DPP candidate, should go there and contest. Ukuzona bwanji mzanga?
Zemene zitu zikuoneka kuti sizithera boyi mwabwino bwino chifukwa zidayamba mpaka nthawi, and mmene mwanenera moja maona ngati kuti zonse zizithe kuchipani kwamenera kukhala pansi ndikungokuyitanitsa msonkhano Germany na convention, kuti anthu akasankhe okha mtsogoleri amene akufuna kuti ayendetse chipani, koma akapitiriza kupanga izi tifika mpaka na nthawi yovota anthu akukanganabe, of which ndikhulupirira kuti kwamene amachikonda chipani cha DPP sakusangalala nazo akamaona zimenezi. Mwinanso china adakakumana zitsogolera awiri apita Mutharika komanso akondwani Nankuma nkukhalirana pansi kumvana chimodzi.
I don't know. Mutharika is a lawyer by profession. We have seen Honorable Dausi. He's also a law expert to some extent. The Nankuma we are talking about, he's not a lawyer by profession, but he has a certain element of constitution in his mind. So I was thinking that zosezi kuti zithe akungwenera anthu akhale pamodzi azukule malamulo awo achipani kuti who is eligible to contest in the upcoming convention, komanso amene ali oyenerera kuti achite nawo masankho akuyenera kupanga chani, because zomangobwera kumapanga site maarticle ena panga site akuti article 10 of the constitution provides that unless otherwise disqualified, a member of NGC shall be eligible for re-election for more terms To put matters straight, current members of NTC, including the president, are not disqualified from standing for re-election under the DVP constitution, Namalomba says, and that's of course Namalomba.
Yes, and the Nation newspaper, the headline reads, "Petrol crisis turns ugly. Commuters feel pinch as fares goes up."
All right.
Motorists pushed to buy 5 liters at 25,000 Malawi kwacha. It never ends but pours for Malawians who continue to endure the never-ending crisis that prompted public transport operator to increase fares, thereby worsening the economy, burdening helpless citizens. Desperate minibus operators and private motor vehicle owners are this time around being forced to pay 5,000 kwacha for a liter of petrol, which fetches at 1,746 kwacha.
And that's of course 4 times,
yeah,
the actual
the
amount
actual
of petrol.
Yeah, and as you said earlier on, when I was coming here, you could see a lot of cars queuing to buy fuel. But then, in most of the filling stations, they're saying that they don't have
Imagine
the commodity.
Imagine, we are living in pieces. This is not the Malawi we ever wished for. Because whenever the president, Lazarus Chakwera, was speaking during the campaign period, he would make sure that he touches those elements. Fuel is one of the basic commodities. So kwathu Malawi, okay, we need fuel. Timatanthauza kuti fuel emweyo anthu agwiritsa ntchito poyendera pa msewu, fuel emweyo ena amagwiritsa ntchito popangira zipangizo zosiyanasiyana. Some will use fuel pophika, ena amagwiritsa ntchito mwina mafactory. So it's a basic commodity. Now to see kuti Malawi mulibe forex, as a result there is fuel scarcity. I don't think the president mwina angakhaleso njozibakira pankhani imeneyi. Zinthu
zikuvuta, but let us hope for the best.
Well, I was hoping to see what Mela has said on that issue, because it's always a tradition that it comes 2 days after this fuel scarcity has been observed, and it says, okay, the situation is under control. Very soon, tiona kuti kulipresa ku COI akalira nkhule agwengwe ndazi zawo kumeneko akatiuze zoti mwathu muno Malawi tikubweretsa zakuti kuti fuel akhaleko. Why not doing that mayambiriro? Fukwatu sitinganame zinthu zimakhala zikuoneka. You would tell mmene anthu amagulira fuel the previous weeks kuti kubwera kuno mwina zinthu zizikhala pabwino. So if our government was proactive enough, we could have been able to control the situation mwina koyamba kwenikweni before it reaches this far. Chifukwa pomwe zafika apa zoti it's even worse.
Yeah, and you're saying kuti zinthu amenera kukhonza kwayambirira. You look now, ang'ono pompano ayamba kugawa fertilizer ayenera kuti subsidy ayambe kumagawa. But I don't know kuti transporter adzikanyamula bwa.
Now we don't even know how many tons of fertilizer are in Malawi. Regarding the AIP, yes. We don't even know. Now we just know the number of beneficiaries has been reduced, yes. And the 1.5 million number ayikulu kwambiri. Komano siri kudziwa zoti zili pati. If you remember, it was the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Sam Kawali.
Yes.
He made mention. That was in May last year. That was in May rather this year. That before the September 1st, akadzakhala kuti ayambakale mwina kugawa fertilizer kamene ayamba kupanga transport from ku NFRA to the designated areas. Now this is the 3rd of October 2023. For the 3rd time, government has missed its own set deadline. Palibeso yembekezo. zinachitika in 2021 when the AIP started anatuza so kuti mwina ikamafika September they will be distributing the commodities kumano anapezeka zoti no September anadutsa chabwino tinamvetsetsa nthawi imeneyo kuti no this is a project in pipeline mwina mwakesana kunzeke bwinobwino come 2022 anachitaso chimodzimodzi they missed their own set deadline. Yeah. This is 2023. For the third time, government has missed its own set deadline on AIP. I mean, should we expect today it will deliver this time around?
I am sure.
What's your quick reaction on that?
Kuboma kukhulupirira kuti akuluakulu akuona pamene zikulakwika ndipo sangakhale osangalala kuti last time analephera ulendo wonso alephere. Let us hope for the best kuti akhala pansi indithu aombetsana mitu kuuzana kuti kodi angatani. At the end of the day fuel tukufuna ayambe kupezeka komanso ndondomeko ya AIP iyende bwinobwino chifukwa kumalawi kuno timadalira ulimi kwambiri and you know anthu akakhala kuti m'midzimu alibe chakudya sizikhala tu zabwino kale. Actually people are complaining already kuti chakudya chikuoneka ngati kukhalako ndithu njala chaka chino.
Alright, still on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper, there is a story which says JZU to have private burial, and that's of course the headline partly. The story says President Lazarus Chakwera yesterday led thousands of Malawians in mourning former Malawi Congress Party President John Zenas Ungapake Tembo. At the event, the organizing committee of the funeral ceremony announced that the veteran politician would have a private burial just 2 hours after jetting into the country from New York, the United States. Yesterday, the president led Malawians in mourning the veteran politician who died at a private clinic in Lilongwe last week. And that's it about John Zenas Ungapake Tembo. We all know he was the former president of the Malawi Congress Party, which is the ruling party at the moment. I don't know if this means that the public funeral which the president announced that it was to be accorded to Tembo will be shifted to a private one, but we just say may his soul rest in peace.
Yes, actually, you know, we can't mention about Malawi history without mentioning John Tembo. He has done a lot of good things, you know, and may his soul rest in peace. There's another story here in the Nation. 108 refugees set to leave on Thursday. Some refugees and asylum seekers are opting to voluntarily return to their respective country due to limited resources at Zareka camp in Doha. Burundian reader Goreth has observed. She expressed the sentiments in a telephone interview yesterday following the Nation inquiry on whether the 108 Burundian refugees and asylum seekers scheduled for repatriation on October 5, 2023 are leaving voluntarily. We know Kudzareka, that's where Anzatu are, my refugees, my Burundi, and the other people from other countries,
the asylum seekers,
yes. And you know that Mboyomu, Boma, Limachotsa, and Kwamenewa, Kwabititsa, Guradzika Kara, Kumeneko. Now it looks like Kumeneko Jantu, Anadzadzana, ndipo malwa kuchepa komanso akusowera zinthu zambiri. So alibwena amene apempha ndithu kuti iwo adakakonda atachoka kumeneko kuti mwina abwerere kwawo. Nkhani imene mukuiona bwanji?
All right, first and foremost, let me say congratulations to the government of Malawi for managing to relocate those refugees from residential areas to Dzaleka refugee camp. Now we are talking about over 10,000 people who are living at Dzaleka camp, which was said to be maybe sustaining about 9,000 to 7,000 people. So which means there is congestion at the Dzaleka refugee camp. So to see that some of them are voluntarily asking the government of Burundi and other governments like the government of Rwanda, to say, okay, we want to go back home because we don't find it easy at the like a refugee camp. I think it's a good development. We can commend them for doing that. Komano chimene munalinga te mafusobe nkumakhalako pokupepesa ndi anthu salepera zofusa anthu akhoza mafusa kuti ndekuti kumene kuchitika motani chifukwa ever since those people were relocated from residential areas to the refugee camp, we haven't heard anything from government. Kuti since that camp was designed to keep maybe 7 to 9,000 people, and now we have over 12 or over 10,000 people living there. What are some of the measures that have been put in place to make sure that even though there is congestion at the camp, Komano people are living there freely? Chifukwa, if you heard the Minister of Homeland Security, the people who are going to be repatriated, akala okaukawa mene yagonetsa kuti anabwera muno Malawi, komano they don't have the refugee status. Ndengati si refugee akuti amaona mapepala kuti kodi munthu kuti akhale refugee, malamulo amwe akunena kuti chana kunena kuti akhale munthu otere zomwenereza ndizi. They go into the papers kudzaleka UNHCR akafuse kuti kodi tipatseni list ya ma refugees amene muli nawo, akapatsa kuti list yo ndi aone kuti uyu alipo koma awa palibe. So as the Nation newspaper has put it, kuti over 108 refugees. That means ngati the Nation newspaper yabanga included their refugees, they have the status of refugee. So atiuze kuti so ngati zikutere what's the way forward, komanso akuwathandiza motani anthu chifukwa choti amanena zoti sikuti ndonse ali olakwa, anapita ndithu kumene kuja ambiri analuza ma business awo. That's another issue for another day. Komano tinguona iyi kuti anthu awawa akuwathandiza mwina motani kwa anthu amene akubwerera kwawowa. Pali dongosolo lotani loonetsetsa kuti ayi anthu asazapite akutchula mbiri ya Malawi yolakwika kuti anatithamangitsa anatitani. Are they voluntarily leaving Malawi for their countries?
Here they have indicated that they are doing that voluntarily, but also I'm sure that government isingango kanguli ikwatumiza anthu amene wa opanda dongosolo labwino, because ngati akukhala kudzaleka akamakhala kudzaleka every month they get something, they receive something about 6,700 Malawi kwacha just mwina kuti athandizireko kugula sopo ndi zinthu tili, but imeneyo siyokwana. So I'm sure government will make proper arrangements.
Yeah, true. Ndizofunika ndithu kuti aliyesa abwerere kwawo, akakhaleko kumeneko akachite ndithu zomwe amayenera kuchita kwawo. That's what the law says. Komano tizingoonanso pena pake kuti if someone comes kuno ku Malawi and he wants to go back to where he came from, akanena mbiri yotani. Since we always say Malawi is the warm heart of Africa, have we managed to portray it as the warm heart of Africa? All right. There is another story which appears on the third page of the Nation, the Daily Times newspaper rather. It says Chakwera hails UNGA trip. President Lazarus Chakwera, as we all know, has said his trip to the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, the United States, was successful. The president was away for over 7 days. He was in the United States of America attending the UNGA General Assembly. Apart from that, he met foreign delegates. He also met some of the possible investors requesting for funding and for investments to Malawi. So how do you assess the trip? The president has said the trip it was successful. Yes, he has been there for over 3 years. In 2021, the president went there. In 2022, he went there as well. this is 2023. He was there and he has just come in Malawi. So how do you assess these trips? Have they been beneficial to Malawi?
I'll talk about
have we benefited
I'll talk about the current one, the one that he has just returned.
All right.
Yes, I will talk about this one because I've been following, and yesterday I even also followed up. The president, as you have already said, he has told us that the trip has been successful to the country. So when you look at that, he left Malawi, I think, on 15th September, and returned yesterday. And while he was there, he totally he met different type of people, whereby we have heard a bank from United States of America giving Malawi some huge amount of money, about 755 I think $1 million. That is very good.
That's a positive one.
That's a positive one. And also we have heard that he made other people from other countries like Israel, and they have promised Malawians to help us, in the irrigation sector. So when I look at these events about the trip, I can say that at least I think upon hearing the figures, it looks like the trip was successful. But then let us hope that we make good use of this money we are talking about, because atopeza kuti atipatsa ndalama mmene tikuneneramo, komano ngati ndalama zibwere koma mwina ena asolola adya kapena apo ayizagwiritsidwa ntchito ina zosayenerera, ndi kuti at the end of the day we're not going to benefit as a country. So ineyo chimene ndinganene ndi cha the current trip. About zinazo zambuyozo tiyeni zinapita zinatha. Let us move forward.
All right, let's now have a quick jump. There is an interesting story. I wanted us to look at some of the business stories. But before we go to business, there is a story which says SEB and Silver Jubilee celebrations. That's of course the headline and part of the story. It says the Anti-Corruption Bureau has announced that it will have a Silver Jubilee celebration, describing it as an opportunity to gauge progress of the fight against corruption and map the way forward. I think that's the way to go. I just wanted to say SEB now in Silver Jubilee, reflecting what it has done the past 25 years. Well, zovuta kwambiri. Inayamba bwino chaka chino, chaka chatha panova mwina anthu nkutheka kuti ife ndatolankhani timakhala tikudziwa mwina tikumvetsetsako akatiuza anzathu aja akati atifike poti ayi atsanthula bwino malemba timamva kuti SB kuchita chakuti malingana ndi malamulo. Komano out there, will people understand how can they tell the same story to a mere person from Thalile, someone from Tandire, someone from Dilande, akamva bwanji nkhani manager chifukwa we are not saying kuti anthu aja ndopanda nzeru, komano there are certain things mafunika kuti mukakhale pansi mukafotokozere bwinobwino. That's why they involve themselves in sensitizations campaign. So now we are telling them kuti SCB kuti ikupanga celebrate Silver Jubilee, nchani chomwe akuyenera kuchita instantly. Nchani chomwe akuyenera kuchita instantly chifukwa mwina apart from trust kuchokera kwa anthu, komano wayoka ndi chani chomwe akuyenera kuchita instantly. Kwa zaka 25 zimene akhalazi, zaka 25 zimene mwina akhala akugwira ntchito, akuyenera kupanga chani mwammachawi.
Ineyo tikamamva za SCB aliyense timadziwa kuti ndi amene amapanga zothana ndi mchitidwe wa katangale. Now munanena kale kuti awareness, I believe kuti alipo anthu ena sayidziwa SCB. Alipo ndipo sitingatsutse. So mwina as they are celebrating Silver Jubilee imene, they should try to kupanga ndithu awareness campaign, and it will be good if mwina zambiri tikamapanga tiyeni tisazike mu Chingerezi ayi tizike mu local language nokuti anthu atha kuzimvetsetsa komanso pa 25 years do we think we have as an institution akwanitsadi ndithu kupanga ntchito imene amayenera azichita. So these are some of the things that we are supposed to amalangata tidzifunse komanso tidziwe. I don't know in kumbali yanu.
Inaso ndimona chonchi chifukwa I said it earlier that they explain these the strategies, they explain a lot of theories to us. Yes, I'm a journalist ndimva menafotokozeramo chifukwa ndimatenga chomwe chija and I will consult a law professor maybe at Chancellor College azayamba undifotokozera bwino tikati section 60 chakuti of the Malawi Constitution ikufotokoza chakuti. However, mwina ASB wasanga ngopita kapanga prosecute wakuti asanafufuze. I will understand that as a person. Kumano munthu mwina mwake amene those who did not have a chance to talk to a law professor at Chancellor College, a law professor at the University of Livingstonia and all other universities, all law experts, those who did not have that chance to get it from them, azirinjani samamvetsetsa. So on that nkhani yayikulu ndiyo manena kuti kuliso law professor kumwepo. Yes. SCB, my Martha Jizuma, she's a law expert, she's a lawyer by profession, she knows it better. So akamangu jira zinazi amathoma jira malamulo koma ife anthu mmudzimu ine ndi anzanga ena ine ndayaya kwathu tikamakambirana tizingoti ASB ndofoira amene aja palibe chomwe akutiuza chifukwa chani chifukwa ife sitikudziwa sitinalowa class ya malamulo. Klasi yomwe mwina tinalowa ife ndi yauli
mwina soyena akangomva za ASB amangodziwa kwa Martha
timangodziwa kwa Martha Jisuma. We don't even know kuti maybe the prosecution is done by prosecutors at the institution. We don't even know kuti kuli anthu ena ake amene amakalimira bungwe lipa milandu. We just know kuti kuli Martha anamanga. Now with the recent arrest protracted on Martha, one would construe and say Martha ndewuri adamuziziritsa mene SCB akalira jeremu asingoti vuto ndi SCB SCB ikone kuti inaja chibanzi. You see there is a twist of fate. This thing they call twist of fate. Things just happen. You see a lot of inconveniences and nkhani jema kapeze kuti when you connect the dots nkhani kufana nadi. For instance, panoba anzathu ASB anapezeka kuti afikapo bonena zota amanga anamanga achilima kumanga chani panoba munthu azikanena zoti okay ASB wa nkhani zimene zijazikuoneka kuti sili kuzizoti zikutha bwanji then nkhani zimene zijazikuoneka kuti anadya banzi. You see zimene anthu ringa manene mudzimu chifukwa cha mmene tumvera zinthu. So they need to do more. Otherwise, kudos, they have really done a great job. We have seen a lot of things that we never saw them before from ACB. They should continue with that. I think Mazaru netsa kuti nthawi yatha tingochitako ma headline mwakupezeka on the back page of the Daily Times akuti farm charges nomads official. I don't know, would you on the back page of the Nation newspaper bali nkhani yoti
Nation newspaper on the back page ndithu bali nkhani imene yakuti Tabitha in PSG losing Tabitha Jawinga anasewera ndithu masewera ake hoyamba ndezi kuonetsa kuti PSG timu yake imeneyi yaluza ndithu
astolera
and zimene sonyeyo Tabitha wanena kuti she's still settled.
Astolera Tabitha rimamudalira
amene timanena kuti ndi pangolini katundu wabwino.
All right, on Arts and Touch and the Daily Times newspaper, science chances casual as must festival debuts, and of course that's Kumast indeed too. Mau rolls out story writing competition. That's of course another positive development from the Daily Times newspaper.
And here we're seeing ACB farm join hands to fight against corruption.
An interesting piece as well.
Yeah.
And that also wraps up our today's edition of the Price Review. Remember, today is Tuesday, the 3rd of October rather, in 2023, and you can get the copies of the Daily Times newspaper as well as the Nation newspaper at 1,200 kwacha each. Until next time, you've been with me, Helbert Katanda, and I wasn't alone. I was joined by
Emmanuel Chuocha.
Good morning once again.